All right, guys, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. My name is Eric Polzin with 9 to 5 Sports. Going to be getting into this Thursday night showdown between the Las Vegas Raiders and the LA Rams. And this is going to be an exciting showdown slate. It's actually going to be probably one of the better primetime games we've gotten in a while. A lot of them have been poor lately, it seems like. So I'm excited about this one. We have some, I was watching the film back for the Rams, and holy crap, there's some eye-popping players, like last week specifically, but oh man, I'm excited to roster some of these guys just because of the upside that they have for showdown purposes. So it should be a fun slate to break down. So if you guys enjoy the coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. That helps me be able to put out more content for you guys. All right, let's get into it. So let's just start off with the Rams quarterback situation. Okay, so John Wolford currently questionable. Okay, I think he would start. If he is active, he should be the one starting. Last week for him, on paper, it was rough, but you had a play to Tutu Atwell that should have been a touchdown. Tutu Atwell just failed to get his feet in. It was a touching play, but he should have made it. One of his INTs was at the end of the game, the last play of the game. Forced fumble was kind of sloppy, and he had an INT that should have been a touchdown as well. He underthrew it. Or no, that's not true. He did have a play though that should have been a touchdown that he underthrew. It's close to being there for him. It just wasn't. Okay. And if you want to compare him to Baker Mayfield, I don't see how they would turn to Baker. Okay. We've seen Baker and we've seen Baker suck. Okay. I think I would rather have John Wolford. At least it's close enough. Either way, those two players are not going to change the quarter or the other players that I want to be on. Okay. So starting with Cam Akers. Cam Akers, man, he looked good. He looked good last week. He did. There's no denying it. Okay. Now maybe this doesn't tell that full story. Okay. But he looked good. It was holy crap. That's the player they drafted you to be. The weird thing is though, he played in over 70% of the snaps last week. And I think it's because he looked good, where Kyren Williams only played in 28% of the snaps. The previous week, that had been flip-flopped, okay? We don't know exactly what's going to happen with that running back room, but we do know that Cam Akers looked good last week, and he gets a great matchup going against the Las Vegas Raiders. So that's going to be appealing to me. We're kind of betting that those snaps are going to continue to be there for Cam Akers, and if it is, then yes, Cam Akers going to be a very strong price point play. Looking at Van Jefferson as well, it's tough not to like him. Okay, played 100% of the snaps last week. 2 weeks ago, had a touchdown against KC. He's actually been pretty productive so far since he's been back, and obviously he's going to be the receiver number one. More of a lineup filler for me, but at his price point, I do like him. He has looked solid, and he is someone maybe in dynasty leagues, maybe, and if the trade market's still open, maybe look to acquire him. Okay, solid, and I do like it. But the players that I'm touching on from earlier in the video, where I'm excited to roster these guys, they look good. The first one is Brandon Powell. Now he's questionable, okay, and his snaps are not guaranteed. It was weird. His snaps went from 55% 3 weeks ago, 70% 2 weeks ago, and 28% last week. But last week, he was just eye-popping on film. I mean, every time he touched the ball, it was a great play. It was shocking, needless to say. Where did this come from? Is this Deebo Samuel out there? No, he wears 19, but it was good. That's the simple way to put it. It was just shocking. It's okay, I get why they're trying to get him the ball because he looks like a stud. If you had told me he played 100% of the snaps, I would have believed you because that's just how involved he was. No, he only played 28% of the snaps. That's crazy to me. So he is someone that we could see potentially get more snaps. Okay, but he's currently questionable, has an illness. He might not play. And, I kind of don't want him to play because that would make the slate easier. And I don't want Lance McCutcheon to play either. Okay, he was a preseason stud. 2 weeks ago, saw 50% of the snaps, was inactive last week. I kind of want him to sit as well because that just makes the slate so much easier. Austin Tremble would be an okay value play you could look at, but Tutu Atwell would just become a lock and load play. He'd potentially be someone that you could put in the captain spot as well. Now, the worry with Tutu is that he had 2 catches that kind of should have been easier catches for NFL receivers in which he couldn't get his feet down. Okay, one was a big 30-yard play on 3rd down, I think it was, maybe 2nd down. And then their touchdown pass, that was a dime from John Wolford that he messed up. He should have got that touchdown. And then there was a play later on in the game that he was wide open and John Wolford underthrew him. So he easily could have had 2 touchdowns last week. And I think if he does have like at least one of those, or maybe catches a couple more passes, people are going bonkers for Tutu Atwell. He was impressive, okay? And if Brandon Powell's out, they're going to use Tutu Atwell that same way because that's what they did. Now, I think part of the reason why Atwell and Powell were as involved as they were last week was schematics. Like McVay saw something in that Seattle defense that said, all right, we're going to do a lot of end arounds. We're going to give the ball to Atwell and Powell, going to give them a bunch of rushes. We're going to get them the ball quickly as well and have them get yards that way. And that's like Powell had like 3 screens set up to him. Atwell had 1, and they both had a bunch of like, handoffs while they're going in motion, and they just hand it off. Both very impressive. Okay. Both really stood out. I think Powell looked better, but he played less snaps. So that's why I like Tutu Atwell. So he is someone that I think we could potentially play in the captain spot. Okay. If Powell's out, I think Atwell, would probably be playing 80% of the snaps. And like he was eye popping on film as well. So I like Tutu Atwell a ton. Is my long way of saying that, especially if Powell and Lance are out. Okay. Now, Skoranek still playing a ton of snaps, just not that involved. He's a blocking receiver. That's what they're using him for. Okay. Tyler Higbee, played 84% of the snaps. Could he be someone that does something tonight? He could be. I don't really want to chase that. Does have a good matchup. It is what it is. Now we look to the Las Vegas Raiders side of it. Pretty simple. It just is, okay? They are a very easy team to predict usage and whatnot. So Devontae Adams going to be on the field 90 to 100% of the snaps, going to get targeted a ton, going to be a spectacular play. You want to play him. Derek Carr should be locked in to get at least 15 DK points because that's what he's done the whole season. The LA Rams have been a defeatable defense. Okay, they've been decent. They've been good enough, but he is someone that I think will go for 15 DK points. But I think we want to be paying up for Josh Jacobs. Just the opportunities have been crazy. Now, eventually, he probably will get injured, unfortunately. This is an insanely high workload, and it's tough to sustain that. Okay, we've seen that time and time again. More carries equal more of an injury risk. Okay, but if we can lock in 25 opportunities in this game while getting some targets, yes, we just kind of have to take it, So Josh Jacobs is a play that makes a ton of sense as well. We kind of have to play him as well. From there, I'd love to be able to fit Matt Collins in there. Matt Collins, playing 90 to 100% of the snaps as well. He has these randomly good games where he, he's on the field a ton, so he's going to get targets. And if you're getting targets, you're going to be productive. It wouldn't be shocking to see him have a good game as well. Like he should be able to have a good game with Devontae Adams drawing more defensive attention. And then Foster Moreau playing a ton of snaps as well. 90 to 100% of the snaps as well. So like we know who the players are that you want to be on for the Raiders. It's just tough to fit them all in there, especially on this slate. But I do feel comfortable getting Adams and Jacobs into a build while also looking at the Rams players. Now, maybe you don't want to go Van Jefferson. Maybe you want to try to force in, Matt Collins or something. You could do that. I'm going to choose not to. Amir Abdullah, going to be the second RB up. Can he make a big play? Sure. And I want to call it Matt Gay because this offense has been good. The play designs have been good. They are getting into scoring range. And Matt Gay has really been spectacular this season. So it wouldn't be shocking to see him have a good game tonight. I kind of expect them to be able to get in a field goal position. And with, more poor quarterback play, they're going to settle for field goals. That's exactly what happened last game. They should have won that game last week. Just slightly off on a couple of plays that needed to be there. So yes, I do like him. Maybe for this build, if Powell is active, you go with him or Matt Gay. Like, not terrible. It's weird to load up on the Rams, but you want to fit in the 3 studs for Las Vegas. But guys, it's been a while since I've been excited for a slate like that because sometimes we just don't get that news that we need to get or see players really breaking out like last week. Like that just doesn't typically happen. So hopefully it comes through. Hopefully those guys step up. But it is a slate in which I think we can gain a nice edge by watching the film and not just looking at stats. So I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are. Hopefully it's a good night. It should be a fun one at least. I'm excited for this one. So if you guys enjoy the coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. That helps me be able to put up more content for you guys. All right, thanks for watching. And as always, let's keep cashing.